'Twas the night before Snowdown, and all through the rift not a champion was stirring, not even Twitch. Boots of speed were hung by the nexus with care, in hopes that St. Kha'zix soon would be there. The champions were nestled all snug in their lanes, with visions of pub stomping and all of tomorrow's games. And Maokai with his sapling and Vagar with his death cap were settled down for a short Snowdown's nap. When out on the rift there rose such a clatter, Teemo sprang from his bush to see what was the matter. Away to mid lane he went with his flash, and in case of Malzahar he made sure to bring his sash. Diana asleep on the mid lane ground gave the luster of midday to all objects around, when what to Teemo's wondering eyes should bring but a giant beer keg pulled by 8 tiny voidlings. With a giant old driver, such a fat ugly. Teemo knew in a moment it must be St. Kha'zix. More rapid than singed he fell out of his bog. With a scratch of his belly he said, "Need some grog." "Now Kha'zix, now Cho'gath, and you too, Kog'maw," the fat red-clad man said with a drawl. "Let's show all these scrubs what things we bring."
Happy hour incoming!
All the autumn leaves before Runan's hurricane blew, as all the voidlings worked to make Summoner's Rift new. All around the rift the creatures they flew, with a keg full of snow and ornaments and Santa hats too. And then in a moment Teemo saw in the rift become snowy and cheery in a sudden shift. Teemo drew in his head and spun around like a top, just in time to see Kha'zix bounce down mid lane with a big belly flop. He was dressed all in red from his feet to his ears, all of his outfit stained with various beers. A bundle of items he had flung on his back, he looked like Hippolytus with an overstuffed pack. His eyes were like coals, his wardrobe quite droll, his cheeks were like roses, his drinking must have been on a roll. His hair and his beard were as white as the snow, only stained with the spills of his last brew so cold. The cork of a keg he held tight in his teeth, the hat on his head encircled his head like a wreath. He had a round face and a big fat belly that shook when he taunted and made all his enemies quite jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and Teemo laughed when he saw him, despite of himself. A belch from his mouth and a grunt of his breath let Teemo know that Kha'zix's breath smelled like death. He turned with a jerk and went almost straight to his work. From his flask he took a big swig, and he filled all the boots with items, potions, and wigs. And laying a thick hand along his round belly, he fell over into a stupor quite smelly. Teemo sprang to his side and wove a hand in front of his face. Santa Kha'zix only snored, his belly rising and falling from space. So Teemo climbed to the top and exclaimed to all in sight, "Happy Snowdown to all, and to all a good fight."
Merry Christmas from Mishi and Lily
And Hessica.
And Hat.
And Ty.
and the rest of us here at HTM.
We wish you a happy holidays and a happy new year.